Hi. How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are having a good Monday. I hope you all had a good weekend. Hi. Hi, Groban. Hi. How are you? Doing well? Hell yeah. Glad to hear it. I am tired. I am very tired. Do I need to work tomorrow? Oh, hell yeah. What's causing that? That's awesome. Do you guys have like a holiday? Thank you. Holiday in your city? A city holiday? What If it would dox you, you don't need to say. Is it specific to your city or is it like a country thing? I don't know that we have city only holidays here in the United States at least. Um, I don't know that I've heard of any place that has a just a holiday for a city and not like a greater area. That's pretty interesting. Uh, I'm tired. I probably like realistically should not have streamed. Uh, because I'm like really run down. Um, it's like a saint day, and that saint is a protector of my region. Oh, interesting. That's pretty neat. Uh, we don't have anything like that here, but I think it's pretty neat. It's actually worth thinking about from a fantasy perspective. um, you should take a nap now. Believe me, harmless, I would. um, I So this past weekend, uh, what happened on Saturday before the birthday party? I don't know. It was a close friend's 30th birthday. Thank you. No, the thing is, I have there's so much work to do. Y'all have no idea. um, which is why I would rather stream the work than not. Plus, you can't really stop streaming. Um, Going on rest or break is not the thing to do. Uh, Especially when you're at like this stage of a channel's growth, it's like really difficult to do so. Um, 1 second. Uh, okay. Um, but uh, we so it was a friend's 30th birthday party this past weekend. And we celebrated on Saturday. Uh, his fiance put on and his mom put on a like surprise birthday party for him, and that was a lot of fun. He like sort of knew. He like knew that a like something was going on because like family was in town, but he did not realize the extent of like who all was invited. It was like way bigger than he was expecting. Um, so we had a good time on Saturday. Um, and then yesterday we went out to dinner. Happy B-Day, random person. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We got like went to our local like Japanese restaurant. that has been like one of our like mainstays for like ever now. I got sushi. I also tried a new appetizer. It's called koroke. Uh, Hi, X Dude. Hi, hi. I hope you're doing awesome. I hope you had an awesome weekend. It's called koroke. Sure did. Hell yeah. It's like fried mashed potatoes. There's no other way to describe it. It's literally like, I don't know if you guys have mashed potatoes. It's like that kind of thing. But it like that, like balled up and deep fried in like panko breadcrumbs. It was so good. It was so good. I was not expecting that. And then I got one of my favorite rolls. One of my favorite sushi rolls that they have there. It's like salmon with egg and crab and avocado. And instead of being wrapped in rice, like in like seaweed and rice, it's wrapped in like a cucumber. And it's very, very tasty. So I got some of that as well. And then I got my classic nigiri trio. It's like I like ikara, which if you don't know is like salmon roe. They're like little balls of, I mean they're roe. They're larger than tobiko, which is like the super super tiny orange ones. And they're a little bit bigger than caviar. I want to say maybe it's about caviar size. If you haven't had ikara. But it's salmon roe, and it tastes like the ocean, is the only way to describe it. It's very salty, and very fishy. I got some of that, and then I got eel. Big fan of eel. So, all in all, very, very tasty dinner on Sunday. And many celebrations over the weekend. But I am EP. I am EP. I don't know if I just haven't been sleeping well or what, but I feel like I haven't rested in a very long time. But that's fine. That's part of life. Is periods of not resting. We'll catch up at some point. But we have a lot of work to do for this campaign-ish. So this world building streams, this has been like a series where I've kind of gone over like the mechanics of strike systems, like the ancestries and vocations. We've laid out the map of Vermela, and we've like kind of drilled into different aspects of it. The last time we touched on this, we made campaign pitches, which were like basically high-level summaries that you would send out to the players, and then we will be prepping, like doing some prep work for that campaign, like basically doing world building. Like, you need to kind of know what the campaign you're building. I don't know. Let me reword this. DMing is at its core like 85% of facade. I don't know how else to word it, but it's like most of DMing is very paper thin. And that is so that you're not creating a lot of extra work for yourself unless you really want to. It's very easy to fall into the trap of world building, and that is just creating world elements for the sake of creating them. That is fine and fun, and I enjoy doing it, but it's not relevant to the campaign. And if you aren't if you have a campaign selected, then all of that world building that you do gets thrown out the window. If you're not like in that part of the world, right? Simply improvise and never do prep work. That is genuinely the truth, though. I would not say never do prep work, but there's a lot of improvisation that happens when I DM, at least. There are DMs who like prep for every scenario, but that's a lot of extra work that most of which will never see the light of day. And that's okay, but it's a lot of devoting time, energy, and resources to things that will not happen. And the reason that we're going about it the other direction is to prevent that. So you never really want to prep for anything that you don't know that's going to happen. And so, like, when we look at Vermela, the country that we made, the continent that we made, if the campaign, like, we're going to be expanding on one of the campaigns that pitches that we made, and so there's no point to us building out the other countries, right? If we're never going to go there in this campaign, they're outside the scope of this campaign, why would we waste time, energy, and resources to building that out when we don't need to? When we can like focus in on the one area that the campaign's going to actually be in, and we can build from there. And then all of the work that we do there will actually end up being used. So, like, that's kind of like the gist of it, I would say. Of that. So, today we're going to be doing campaign prep from the world building from the perspective of campaign prep. That is drilling into one area specific to a campaign and then determining what that campaign needs, putting that stuff in the world first, and then maybe filling out all the other stuff. That's like bells and whistles and all that kind of thing. So that's today's good job. Tomorrow, we will be playing Halo. I don't know if you guys saw the new schedule. But I rolled, so there was a 3-way tie in the Discord, which we'll discuss here in a second. But in the end, I rolled a die, and if you saw the video in the Discord, I rolled for Halo, and Halo was the result. So we will be playing Halo 3. We'll be finishing the fight, as they say. As John Halo says, and from there we will continue. Thursday we'll be continuing Nier. We'll be doing Nier Automata until we finish it, and then after that we will be starting Sekiro. There will be no vote for the next Thursday game. We'll just be doing Sekiro, for better or for worse. So that's the plan for the week. I'm going to pop a lozenge. You guys are about to see something that is an inside joke between friends. A long time, me waiting for a Yakuza game Thursday. True, very true. I've been waiting for the next Yakuza game opportunity for like ever now. It would be, what, Kiwami 1 would be the next Yakuza game, so. But you guys are going to see an inside joke. So, a long time ago, back in high school, you know, me and my friends and, like, half of the grade May, which is like, I don't know, there was like 50 people involved, roughly. Maybe a little bit more than 50 people. We made a basketball league. And we played basketball on the weekends. It was like a driveway basketball, like pickup games kind of thing, but it was like, we kept stat sheets, we kept, we took it seriously. And me and some of the friends that I made a lifelong friendship with, we were on the same, like, basketball team for this league that we made. And our team, like, we made, like, team names that were, like, based on cities, real cities. We were the Champagne Demons, which you can see here. So, if you are a member of the Champagne Demons, you will not be permitted to view the following stream. We've had a couple people who have popped in, who are like people I know IRL. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? This? Like, not in the right place, kind of. There we go. There we go. Okay. But those people who were previously allowed to view these streams are no longer allowed to, because they will be spoiling any potential campaigns that they might play in. So, RIP to those who may have wanted to join. So yeah. So let's talk here. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. 1 second. I'm actually gonna hide this for a second. Whoop. Here. There. So the last world building stream, we made these campaign pitches. I think there are 6 of them. And 8 if you count the fact that 2 of these have 2 different sides to them. But we will be discussing this one. This is the campaign that we are going to be building out today and in the future. This is the Across the Kairos Bridge campaign. If you'll recall, with respect to Vermela, which is not here, it is here. This. It's this one. It's this, like, island that was, like, lost to time. Because of the folly of a cabal of sorcerers. So, that would be this campaign. Originally, I was designed this campaign to be in the other direction, or people from that, like, lost time space to find their way back. But instead, when we wrote the campaign pitches, we decided to flip the script, and it would be a group of adventurers being sent, like, on a one-way mission, basically, to see if they can't find out what happened and why, and then get word back to civilization. So, that's where we're at. This is basically as much information as we have, and we have to make a campaign from this. So, let's talk about the goal of the campaign. We're gonna start there. We're gonna talk about the goal of the campaign. and like what's needed for it to function. And the goal should be having fun. Okay, that's the goal of the players. We're talking about the goal of the characters. But yes. Because we're going to be building out like the main story of the game in this stream. But yes, you are correct. The goal of any campaign should be having fun. So we know this. It's to explore the ruins of Ion. Determine what happened to it. / what caused its downfall. Then return to civilization. Alright. What's needed for this campaign to function? So, immediately, obviously, we need ruins. There for Ion to be in ruins, we need for Ion to be in ruins. We need ruins to explore. Now, does this mean that there will be no civilization? No. There can also be what remains of living Ion. So like maybe a city, something like that. We also need a history for them to uncover. With the players uncover. And we also need a way to get back. So Ion, as we know it, is trapped on the other side of, like, time-space. If you were to take a boat to where Ion is, you would not find anything there, because it's, like, not in the same time stream. Which is super fucked, frankly. But so if they journey to this place by traversing the time stream as well as physically locations, they need a method by which they can come back. They will not be given this. They will need to find it on the island. Which then, if you think about that, begs the question, find on Ion. If there's something that can return people from Ion to civilization, why haven't the Ion citizens done it? Citizens done it. Right? So, this is like what I would consider the bare minimum of what's needed for the campaign to function. And I have been brewing some ideas for this. We already know this from our world building streams. But we need to be able to seed kind of like what happened across the across the island, the country, whatever you want to call it, so that the players can find it in bits. There's no we don't want to be handing this to the players on the silver platter because it's like the mystery of it all. So, let's start there because that's probably like the crux of it, and the history is kind of like what we already know, and also like will be leading to what happens. So let's talk about what happened to Ion. So we know that this is what happened. A cabal of sorcerers known as the Gitran Dial attempted to manipulate time to become immortal, and in so doing slipped the island country of Ion out of Vermela's time stream. Where did the campaign pitches go? Did I close them? I did. What do the players know? So the players only know what's in here. They know that the Gitran Dial destroyed it, displacing it from reality. They don't know anything about time, or like what happened, or their motives. They just know that something happened. So, but we know Gitran Dial enacted a ritual to how should I word this? I don't know if absorb is the right word. Of the Ionian people to become functionally immortal themselves. So, if this is what we need, right, this is what happened, that means that we need a ritual. What was the ritual? What was the result of the ritual? And I don't mean just displacing time-space. Did they succeed in becoming immortal? Did some people's time streams become whack? I mean, we know the entire like the land's time stream became whack. But what about the rest of everyone? And this, I think, will lead to this, because what I'm thinking is that hi, how are you? I hope you are doing super well. I hope your work day was good. Today was your, like, first day at your new job, right? So, I hope it was super good. I hope it was, not your last job. Like, I know it won't be, but Jesus. But I hope you're doing well. I hope your work day was good. Yeah. It is good to see you. I accidentally napped for like 2 hours after I got home. You're so real. You're so real. I hope that doesn't lead to you not being able to sleep tonight. Let me do this. I'm gonna open another browser that you guys cannot see. Actually, maybe I can open a document that you guys can see. If you remember, this is from the Ancestry Vocations stream. I'm gonna scroll down to a specific vocation here. There we go. So this is the sorcerer vocation. It is like the quintessential like offensive spellcasting / utility spellcasting vocation in Strike systems. If you were to equate it to something in like most tabletop games, it would be like the wizard, the quintessential wizard. It's definitely different from the wizard in a lot of ways, but it's like the most versatile when it comes to its magic. And there are 5 specializations of the sorcerer, as there are 5 specializations of every vocation. And I was thinking that for the ritual, there would be like 5 or maybe 6 pillars of like landmarks that are like this is where I'm thinking like this and this like weave together, because I'm thinking there's like maybe 6 landmarks, 1 for each school of magic, right? And then a 6th one that's like a reversal of this, which is like the time space one. So like you have one, like there's 6 pillars across the island. There's like 6 landmarks. 5 are dedicated to this, and like they use these like landmarks to like warp the time space of Ion. Like that's kind of like where my thoughts are. I think that would be pretty interesting, as they like have to go to these different locations and like decode what's happening. And we can put like different like problems at each of these. And as they like go through and find out like what's happening and what the ritual was, the players figure out like kind of like what happened, why it happened, and what the significance of all these things are. That's kind of like where my head's at for like the base of the campaign, because it solves this problem while also tackling this. Maybe there's not 6. Well, maybe there's 5, and then like the middle is 6th, something like that. That's kind of like where my head's at. So let's, what was the ritual? A connection between 5+1 landmarks on Ion. one representing 5 schools of magic, and a sixth central location representing a reversal of the fractal school of magic. Something like that. Which means we need 5 landmarks. And then we can do each of these. Just gonna copy this. Paste. And then I think the way I'm gonna do this is, oh my god, what just happened? Oh, there was a page break in there as well. So we're gonna boil this down to its core. This is history. Math, time, space, words, language, and then biology. Because that's what these like represent, right? All the schools of magic in this setting represent like almost like the fundamental things of life, right? The past, the physical elements, math, language, and biology. Like, almost like school subjects in a way. And so we'll need 5 different things that like either represent this or like are places on the continent that either used to be something that represented this or something like that. And then I think in the city, this will be the 6th central landmark, representing a reversal of time of fractal. Okay. So, with that in mind, I think I might steal from myself. That's such a silly sentence to say. But a lot of DMing is stealing content, if you didn't know. Basically, it's about taking the things you love and enjoy and putting them in your game. Reverse self-care. So, in my current D&D setting, a player, basically, went against the rest of the party, and unleashed an apocalyptic event. I've kind of mentioned this in passing before, but basically, a player, who I will not name, unleashed a time dragon on the world, and this time dragon placed itself in every major city at the same time because it's a time dragon. It can duplicate itself in time, and it wreaked havoc on the world, and the gods transubstantiated to reseal the time dragon. One of the things the time dragon did was it trapped an entire city in this like time bubble, and the players have kind of like my current players have interacted with this time bubble before, but it's like an opaque blue swirling ball of energy, and one of the players stuck a stick in it, and they found out that like when they pulled the stick out and it like turned to dust basically, and they, in a nutshell, through a lot of trial and error, they discovered that time on the inside of the bubble was passing like much more quickly than time outside of the bubble. And they found that out by like placing a note in a bottle, and putting that bottle, like they like threw the bottle into the time stream. They got a response like immediately, and then they wrote a response to that response, and then threw that in the bubble, and then like the response they got from that was like, "Oh, my grandmother was talking about how she received a note from the outside." And they were like, "Oh, time is passing very quickly," because it had only been like a few moments, and we're already talking about like a grandchild. So, hi, Coffee. Hi. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Yeah. When the players found out that that was what was going on, they were like, "Oh, this is super fucked." But I think I'm going to do the reverse here. So my thinking is the results of this ritual, that people from Ion are functionally immortal. Nice, I'm glad to hear you're doing alright. But to keep it, they have to stay in the bubble. Because time inside the primary city of the prime city of Ion is like at a standstill basically compared to the rest of the world. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what the a consequence of this would be like when they leave the bubble, time catches up to them. And they age rapidly. And that's why they haven't come back, right? Like, this is why they just, like, haven't come back, is because they cannot, they're trapped there. and if they leave, they die. So yeah, I think this is like a good start. So this is a large, mysterious ball of blue energy. I think so. The question becomes, how does the party get into the ball? I'm thinking they can just walk into it, but obviously that poses a huge danger, because if they walk into it, they will, and then try to leave, they will rapidly age, right? And likely pass away if they've stayed there for like any amount of time. So what I think what I might do is we'll put a what do we want to call this? I'm just gonna call it MacGuffin. Is it MacGuffin piece? I don't know what we're gonna call it. If you don't know what a MacGuffin is, it's like the generic name for like quest item that is necessary to fulfill the like a quest. So like when you think of a fetch quest in an MMO, and they're like, get the statue of whoever, right? That's the MacGuffin. Like, to complete the quest, you have to like have collected the statue, right? Or you have to collect, pieces of a rod, for example, like a big rod that has been shattered, and that's a MacGuffin. So what I'm thinking is that there is some device that has been split into like 5 pieces that facilitated the ritual. And once they've collected the 5 pieces, they can like put it together to let them like safely traverse like the bubble. That's what I'm thinking. It'll like stabilize their time stream or some random magical bullshit like that. And that's kind of like how they come back, because their time stream is use the MacGuffin to stabilize their time stream on the return journey. Like, I think it like this like is like the basis of the campaign, is that they visit each of these landmarks, they collect the pieces of the thing. The thing lets them explore the 6th location, like finally find out like what happened and why people can't go back, and then they can like go back, and that's the campaign basically. Like, I think this is the basis of it. So that means we need a map. We need a map of Ion. We need 5 things that like represent these things, with a giant ball of energy in the middle of it. But my players need a historical map. So one of the things that we need is history that the players already know. It's like pre-displacement history. What Ion was like hundreds of years before its displacement. A map of what Ion used to be. That's kind of like what I'm thinking of. Like, these are things that I will deliver to my players prior to the start of any campaign. Which means we should probably start here before we actually like get into all this, because theoretically this is what needs to happen beforehand. So let me bust out paint. We can start drawing. You guys see that? You guys can see that, okay. So let's talk about Ion. Actually, before we get into this, let's talk about Ion. What Ion is physically. Yeah. Okay. So Ion is this island. You can see it's over here, and it like fits into this. So much of Ion was actually, like, about half of it was not coastline and half of it was coastline before its displacement. And the reason it's here is because it's like frozen in place and like continental drift has happened. Basically. So, like, this is like cliffs, like basically like land where like this connected, and like maybe centuries of like erosion has happened, basically. Like, that's what this is. What does a cliff look like? Let me pull up new window. What is some of the world's oldest coastal cliffs? Leave me alone, Google. Google's like trying to like fucking personalize my searches, and it's like, fuck off. Just give me what the answers are. Hi, Pigeon! Hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I am looking up historical cliffs. What we got cooking? I'll show you here in a second. 1 second. Like Or like the cliffs of Dover or something like that. What about this? What does this look like? Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. I have successfully Googled. They're actually like formed differently than how this functions, but it's the same thing. Oh, this is what we got cooking. Pigeon. So, a cabal of sorcerers enacted a ritual to like stop time basically for themselves to become immortal, and they sort of succeeded. They stopped the time stream of the island here, which is why like continental drift has like driven these apart. Thank you. But the people are trapped in the city. The time in the city is like effectively stopped, but if they leave, it like catches up to them, and they age rapidly. So they like cannot. They're like functionally immortal, but they cannot leave their bubble, which is why they have not come back. And like the party's job is to like find out what happened, right? So they're gonna like uncover all these like ritual marks that like represent the different schools of magic, and there's like a sixth mark that's like this. That's like the city itself that represents like the reversal of like the time-space school of magic. Right? It's like that. Like that was like the ritual that they like enacted, and the players will like go to each like place and find like a piece of some device that they can like put together to like stabilize themselves inside the bubble, so that way they don't age rapidly when they leave. That's like the plot of the campaign, basically. But we're working on history. We're going to be working on some stuff that the players should have access to, which is like, what did this place used to look like? Paint. So we need like this. Something like this. So this is like what it used to look like, and this is like what it like looks like today. All right. That's an awful lot. You know what? I'm just gonna use like capitals. Past. Present. Yes. Exactly. You get me. Alright. So, past, present, the players will be getting, like, this map over here on the left, prior to the start of the campaign. I love the idea that time accelerates as they try to leave. It's kind of, like, necessary, because if you think about it, it's like, if something isn't preventing them from leaving, why haven't they just like fixed it themselves, basically? Right? Like that's the premise. You need a reason for the people who are existing there to not be able to leave. Because otherwise they would have solved the problem themselves after several hundred years. Okay, so obviously we have in the center, we need the city, and then we have like the bubble. Ta-da! It's like spinning ball of energy. Cool. And then we need like 5 locations, so like something here, or maybe nothing there. Maybe it's like we know that there needs to be like 5 locations. I want these a little bit further. Right? Like around the city. And if it matters, we know that like this is like coast. And like here to here. And like this is like cliff. And this was like coast. And like this all like connected to the mainland. Okay. So we need something representing each of the schools of magic. Which we know are you guys are on the wrong page. These. History, elements, math, words, and biology. How do we want to like flavor this? Because I'm thinking like their goal was to, oh, you guys can't see paint anymore. Paint. So we have that's too large. Let's make this a little smaller. History. What? Biology. Language. The elements. And what was the last one? Oh my god, my brain. History, biology, that's essence. Oh, and math. Time, space. So it's like a good representation of each of these. So like language could be like a library. Biology could be like a zoo. What would history be? It's a good like functional landmark of each of these things. What, like a museum? Park? Like what? Clock tower? Something like this? Alternatively, we could think of things that are like, what does a world look like without these things? Like, a world without biology is like robots. A world without language, like, what does, like, a city with, like, zero communication look like? You know, things like that. Maybe we do that. Okay, alright. How's this? This is gonna be very far-fetched, but it's kind of a neat idea, I'm thinking. Is like, maybe there was a city that was known for, like, in the past. Hi, Marianne. Hi. Thank you. And thank you for the cute art. It's very, very cute. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you have a good rest of your day or evening. But I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Okay. But what I'm thinking is, like, maybe there was, in the past, like a... Oh, we should be not writing this here. We should be writing this on the other fucking thing. Let's do that. Hide this. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, like, as a concept, like, the land around the landmark. Here, let's do this. Land around landmark is devoid of its school with a pocket of its school, like, specifically, like, made to the extreme. I don't know how else to word this. It is very confusing at first, but here's what I'm gonna, like, explain. So, what it was, what it is now. So, the history one will be like, what's something that's, like, super devoid of history? I don't know what that would look like. Environment devoid of history. But at its center, an area trapped in the past. And then for like the elements, so like we're gonna copy this. Elements of elements, an area that is chaotic elemental energy. So like this would be like a barren wasteland. Because like there's no grass, there's no everything was burned, so there's just ash and dust. That's kind of like what I'm thinking. I was thinking like maybe an area devoid of history is like super futuristic, right? Like maybe it's like metal and robots, but maybe like the biology one is that. I'm gonna copy this. Scrap that you can piece together as good as like. Yeah. Yeah, structure, origin, and pattern. Copy. Words. Language. This is gonna be a bit esoteric. We're gonna be getting into some weird shit here, but that's kind of like the point, right? Is that they fucked with like the essence of the world. This area is gonna be fucking gross. I think it's like a very cool concept. It's just, this might be a bit difficult to pull off. What it was, so a town that hates statues. I'm thinking like something like this. Like something like this. Bronze, mining, forging, casting. So it's like an area where they like built monuments to the past, right? Like when you think of like history, you think of like places that have like lots of statues. They like, you know, if you're in like the US, you can typically find a statue in a city that's like, or in like Canada, there's like statues to like a person on horseback that was like a famous general and shit like that. So like a town that like made, you know, statues. Famous general, yeah, exactly. And now like, what is an environment? I don't know what an environment devoid of history would be like. But like here, the town still exists, but maybe there's dinosaurs. Something like that. The elemental landmark. I don't know. So I was thinking maybe like a park or a conservatory, like a conservation site, a safari area. So like this is like a barren wasteland, where there's like literally nothing. It's like empty. Empty, ash, and monsters. And at center is like a cosmic tornado of the elements. Rock, fire, water, etc. For the map, what does an area devoid of math even look like? What does that even conceptually mean? An area that's made of, like, devoid of math, space, and time. That's... I don't even fucking know how to interpret that. Oh my gosh. Damn, Zero Phoenix or Limbo. Yeah. So, obviously, we can't have gravity. Parts of the area loop on themselves. There are time traps. I don't even know how to describe, like, mini bubbles. I don't know. At the an area that's structured and patterned. Time traps, so like black holes. Yeah, kind of. We can throw that in there. Black holes. This seems like a very dangerous area. What would this place have been? Like a clock making town? Orange clock tower? This would have been like town with large library. Maybe something like no sound exists. This would be like an interesting like puzzle to figure out. It's like, oh, they have to like do like communicate entirely. They have to communicate like entirely by like writing down. But like when words are written, they become jumbled. Like, there is no communication that exists in this area. At the center, I'm expecting them to go into a book. I don't know what book that would be. But they go into a book. And it becomes like near replicant. Ugh. I mean, we're getting somewhere. What would... Do I still have this paste in? No, I don't. Okay. It's not on the clipboard anymore. Oh my lord. What would the biology area used to have been in the past? What's a landmark that represents biology? In like a research laboratory? Or something like that? Ow. Okay. So let's go back to paint. So now that we have this, let's go back to paint. Let me pull this over here so I can reference it. What are you guys looking at? You guys are looking at paint, right? Okay. So we have statue town. We have... Hi Chris! I hope you have a good rest of your day at work. I hope things go well for you. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good Monday. I hope you have a very good Tuesday today. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. So we had the statue town. We have a park slash conservation slash safari park slash safari area. We have a clock making town. I'm happy to help, Chris. Have a good one, like genuinely. We have library and a research one. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So these are like the historical areas. And then for the current areas we have a futuristic with Dino Center. We have Baron with Chaos Center. We have anti-grav time with pattern center. That does not make any amount of sense, but that's fine. And then we have no sound with book center. And then we have robot with organic center. God, this one's gonna be a fucking shit show. I'm gonna have to be really careful with this because it will be very easy to turn this into like the world's worst body horror fucking area. We love those. That's... Love is a strong word. I kind of want to put this like over here, but that's kind of like off the map, isn't it? No, I think there's room over here, right? Yeah, okay, there's plenty of room. Alright. Put this over here. Cause this, like, these will be like one-to-one with each other. The thing is, with this organic center, I'm thinking like even the ground that you walk on is flesh, and like that's gross. That's really gross. I would need to check with my players for like body horror. You know what I'm saying? That's something you gotta check with your players with beforehand. Because, like, people have limits. People have limits. Okay. So, where do we want to put these? And the reason I ask is because The players will arrive here first. And, like, they're gonna be coming from, like, this direction, basically. So their first order of business will be, like, scaling a cliff. I have no idea how they're gonna go about that, but that's what they're gonna have to do. So, like, they're almost certainly going to encounter whatever area this is first. Thinking about it from a... So we have to, like, think about the design of this place from two different perspectives. One is from a realistic perspective, and the other is from, like, a game design perspective. And we have to merge the two. Because this used to be part of the world, right? It used to be part of the continent. So, like, how much sense does it make to put a safari area on the coast? Maybe it does make sense. And if it's, like, that's, like, the hardest one, maybe we don't put it on the coast, or maybe we do put it on the coast. But if it's one of the easier ones, maybe we put it, like, over here, you know? Something like that. There's also, like, once we figure out the first one, I think that's, like, the easiest area, then I think we can go from there, because there's, like, once they go through one, there's no telling where they'll go, because they could, like, go to the bubble and be like, oh, we can't go in the bubble. Time to, like, go over here, you know, maybe they'll go over here, maybe they'll, you know, after they do the first one, then it's like, okay, we chill. We can go kind of wherever. But first we have to decide which of these is, like, the easiest area. None of them seem particularly easy. Maybe we'll start them a little higher level, because this shit, the way I'm envisioning it is, they're gonna die if they're level 1. I was never planning on having them start at level 1, but they would, like, die at level 1, for sure. Like, no matter where they went. What would be the easiest one? I'm thinking, like, the one that makes the most sense would probably be, like, the safari. So, you're thinking about this from, like, where the world is situated. Like, there's plains over here. There's, like, mountains up here. And then there's, like, more plains over here. So, like, safari here or here would make very much sense. I don't really want to throw them into, like, the chaos one first, so maybe that's, like, up here. The research laboratory, I definitely do not want them to go to that first. The anti-grav. So it's either, like, the futuristic one or the book one. I think the book one has to be not first either. So it's probably gotta be this one first. Because, like, here there's at least, like, people, I want to say. Like, there will be, like, people in the middle. They'll have, like, tamed dinos. It'll be like Neanderthal, almost. So let's do that, and then we can like kind of like put the other ones kind of wherever. So we'll do like maybe there's like a town here. We'll do the park area up here. It'll be kind of like larger. I want the research laboratory, I think, down here on the coast. And then we can do what's left, the clockmaking and the library. We can do like the library over here. And like the clock tower down here. So that way like the futuristic area blends into like the super robotic area. Which blends into like, oh wait, no, the robot area is this one. This one would be the anti-crab area. Oh lordy. Okay, well, we got this kind of sorted. Let me type this out. So we have Clocktown. We have, or no, this was Statue Town. Statue Town. This was Safari. This one was Research Lab. Oh, this one was... What did I say? Library? And this one is Clocktown. That means this is anti-grav. This is robots and flesh. God. What a thing to type. Future and dino. This is no sound and book. And then this one is Baron with Chaos Tornado. Something like this. It's kind of like what we're looking at. From like a map perspective. Oh, man. I think that's fine. I think this is good enough for like a map. Let's go back to figuring out what's going on here. Yes. Okay. Alright. Let me think about this for a second. Where do we want to go from here? So we kind of like have a map. So this is done to an extent. What was Ion like before this? Let's note some things down. So obviously, they made statues and clocks. Clocks. They had a library. Had a research facility. And a safari. So, like, culturally, one, you'll notice that none of the, like, culturally, they were very peaceful. They were very inwardly focused. And very cerebral. And we can tell because none of their landmarks, like, they didn't make weapons, they didn't export weapons, they didn't, like, clearly all they were focused on was, like, studies and that kind of thing. They were very advanced and scholarly. They were, if you've ever played Civilization, I don't know how many people have played Civilization in chat. Ion was the country that had like 2, maybe 3 cities, and all they did was rush science. They never built any armies other than what was like the bare minimum. They just rushed science. Which was my strategy in Civ. They went for the rocket ending. Okay. I'm thinking maybe we move the research laboratory. And, like, maybe we flip the research laboratory in the... I'm thinking we do that. We flip the research laboratory in the library. So that way the research laboratory is next to the safari. Let's do that. Because they gotta do animal experiments. Of course. Of course they gotta do animal experiments. What research laboratory doesn't do animal experiments? Especially inhumane ones. I mean, the whole plot of this is like the fall, like the hubris of mankind, so of course they gotta... Oh my god, don't do that. Control Z. This doesn't really fit anywhere, we'll just put it out here. Okay. Sorry, you guys couldn't see that. I, flipped the library and the research lab. Okay. Let me bring this back up. What did their government look like? Indeed, Pigeon. Indeed. So obviously, so the players know about the Geatron Dial. So obviously, the Geatron Dial was a big thing. They were a cabal of sorcerers. So if the Geatron Dial was big, like public enough to have a say, I'm thinking that like maybe there's like there were events so the government must have supported the education system. Of course, yeah. I'm thinking like government was like a maybe like a triumvirate of I mean, yes, of course, Pigeon. I mean, we can shit on the United States here. we can be open about that. I'm not about to stop you from speaking ill of capitalism and government organizations that destroy and dismantle the education system. I'm not about to stop you. Hey, sometimes I gotta hold myself back. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. As a government, drown myself. True. I'm thinking of how do you spell triumvirate? I have no idea how the fuck you spell that. Is that correct? Did I spell it right? There's no shot I spelled that right. Oh, I did. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Headed by 3 organizations. So obviously one of them has to be the Geatron Dial. They were powerful sorcerers. What area would the Geatron Dial have been based out of? Probably like the library area, or the clock tower area, or of both. Maybe there's like 3 factions. Yeah, I'm thinking there's three major factions. The Geatron Dial, which has like the library and clock town, and then like there's like a labor organization. 3. Did you pay attention? I don't know what your 3 is correcting. I can't fucking tie my big ass wings. Oh, that's fair. I thought maybe YouTube like censored something. But based out of, just forget I'm a crash out. You're good. Do not worry, friend. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm typing. Let me come back here. Based out of, Clocktown and Research Lab. No, and Library. Then we have another faction. This will be like a nature faction, we'll just call it. Based out of Safari and Research Lab. And then we're gonna do like this. And then we have the labor faction, which is based out of the Statue Town and Clock Town. The Geatron Dial and this faction shared Clock Town. This is how I'm thinking of it. And like they were like in charge of like literally like manual labor, like exporting these things and stuff like that. The nature faction is like, and they all had like various opinions. Like these two factions thought that the labor faction was like brutes. The labor faction thought that like the nature faction was like hippies, and like the Geeternials were like fucking nerds. It's like hippies, jocks, and nerds, you know, kind of thing. You know, it's like that. That's kind of how I'm like thinking of how they like perceived each other. And the Geeternial was like, no, 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 no. You all don't know. We're gonna set up this giant thing. We're gonna infiltrate the other factions like areas, and we're gonna set up this giant ritual so that way we can stop time and we can become immortal and we can like slowly influence the other factions and like take over. And then they fucked everything up. I think like that's what like society was like. Okay. God, we have gotten a shitload done. Love hearing the process coming together nicely. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. It's definitely not for everyone. Oh man, your big ass wings are. You're good, Pigeon. You're good. I appreciate you. Oh man. What are we calling these areas? Let's think of some names. Um, I think I know what I want to call the Aaron one, but I'm gonna have to double check my notes here. Is this the right document? We got an updated document, didn't we? You guys can't see that. Okay, you guys cannot see that. I thought I was showing my like fucking personal email for a second. This one. This. You guys are not allowed to see this document. Like for real, for real. So I apologize. I can delete this. Let me go down to where is the gods? Omnitheon, Aaron, Linus. Aaron is the wild, passionate goddess of the hunt and daughter of Lottie Bale. She claims dominion of the wilderness, particularly blah blah blah. And there's a tense song carrying out with a bow. Well, there isn't a name for it. I was sure that there was a name for You're good. So what I'm looking at. So my friend who put together this game, has like a core rule book basically. But I know that I'm not allowed to share it with you guys until it's like officially final and like it's like in book form basically. Right now it's like 99% of the way there. I just know that I'm not supposed to share it with you guys before getting the okay. Because it's like the actual core rule book. It needs to be published before I can like really show it off. Oh my god, how dare. I know, right? Scandalous. Scandalous. Do the arbors have a name? Are the arbors named? 1 second. We're getting deep into lore. Could have sworn that they were, but maybe I'm mistaken. They probably do, it's just not in this document. Thinking of names of like the D&D equivalent would be like the Outer Planes. So like you have Mount Celestia as like Bahamut's plane of existence, right? Like shit like that. The arbors, what they would be called here, there's like the Sanctus Latour and Umbra Latour. Those are like heaven and hell, and they have like layers to them basically. Those are the arbors, the umbral arbors and like the sanctal arbors or whatever they're called. I thought those had names, and I'm pretty sure they do. I'm not seeing them listed here on this document. They might be like on a different document. Okay, well, that's that. Sorry, I am flagging. Maybe we'll just call stream soon. I can do like names and stuff on a different. Names is like the most boring thing in existence. I hate doing names. It's so boring. We have gotten a lot done. Names are always tough. Naming things, Blorfmagil. I mean, most of my names are like based on something, and I do like too much research to figure out how to name things. Like Ion as a name is like Ion is one of the Greek gods of time. Like Greece has like several gods of time, and Ion is one of them. I think it's like like mathematical time or something like that, as opposed to like present time, like living in the present versus like historical time. You know what I'm saying? They had like gods of like different aspects of time, and it's like, oh, and so like me finding out like Ion is one of these, and that's where this name comes from. You know, like why, like why do I go like the Kairos Bridge? Kairos is like another, like it's like a translated word for something. You know what I'm saying? Ugh, I don't know why my brain is like this. Um, I think we should probably name at least like the cities. Statue City and Clock Tower City. Let me pull up good old Google Translate. What the fuck are you doing, Google? Google Translate. Search it. Thank you. We'll do Greece. I think most of Ion's language basis is going to be Greek. So let me do like Greece. Then we'll type in like bronze. Bronze comes from Greek. Of course it does. A lot of things will. What about like statue? You guys should, this might be loud. You know what? Let me mute it for you guys and see where it goes. Yeah, that would be loud. I try it like this. Alright, here you go.
Άγαλμα.
You guys should have been able to hear that, I think, if OBS is correct. Agalma.
Άγαλμα.
So we'll just name the town that. There you go. Town of, in American, Agalma. Oh, this was the statue one, not the clock one. Let me move this. Alright. What about clock?
Ρολόι.
Okay, well that's very, very close to Rolex, which makes sense. Roloi? Roloi is a fine name for a town, I think. Okay. We'll need a name for the safari area, but I think we can come up with that later. Same for the library. The library would probably just be like... Definitely going more Greek. Well, yeah, I think I want the... Why is this here? Go away. I want the area to be like feel Greek in origin, just like on the whole. We're gonna call it here. We've definitely made plenty of progress, and this gives me stuff to do off. Like this is like the basis of everything I could do off stream. Is just like draw a map, write a write up for like what the place was like, that kind of thing. Plus ending a little bit early gives me a chance to like rest, get some rest in. So definitely made plenty of progress. Let me transition over here. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. We made plenty of progress today. Resting is good. Resting is good. It's also kind of needed. Just lay down and do some gacha and stuff before going to bed early tonight. But we made tons of progress, and this will give me. I'll like, I don't know, post a map on Discord when I like write it up or draw it. Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I got caught thinking about what the map is gonna look like. Brain does not stop moving. But good night, good night, good night. I will see you all tomorrow for finishing the fight. We're gonna be starting Halo 3 tomorrow. So, woo, woo. Good night, good night, good night. Have a good evening, and thank you all again for coming. Night. Bye bye.